Really big Automobilista 2 news and many other news coming up right here, right now. Greetings petrolheads and welcome to WromWrom.net, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing, and to a regular news roundup. If you have any news for us, send us a mail to news@WromWrom.net. Thanks for watching, my name is Serta and I will be your host for this video. Big, fat, juicy, impressive. I could go on and on with the adjectives to describe the Automobilista 2 as well as the rFactor 2 news, but don't let me keep you waiting. While it's not a surprise that Motorsport Games has completed the acquisition of Studio 397 and rFactor 2, and truth to be told it would not be big news either, there is much more to tell about that. The bigger news is clearly that we now have confirmation from both sides, Motorsport Games and Studio 397, that the next Nascar game is going to be made by the studio and that it will use the rFactor 2 engine. Furthermore, it is confirmed Studio 397 will be the studio working on the sims for the British Touring Car Championship and the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Another important point that got reiterated is that the development of rFactor 2 will continue for sure, while, as we expected, becoming the platform for future esport broadcasts of the Motorsport Network. Moving on to even more rFactor 2 news, if you fired up the sim this last week, you may have seen one interesting thing. The Lime Rock Park package got an important update, as it's the next track that saw the lighting updates done to the sim applied to it. And if you thought this would be the end of the rFactor 2 news, think again, because Studio 397 also had something to share about the competition system in rFactor 2. If you're wondering where the competition races have gone, they have stopped for 1 week so Studio 397 can go over the data and start changing things according to their analysis. The most important thing for them is to analyze how well or not the rating algorithms work. While their blog post has a lot of "we could" and "we may" and "we'll think about it," you'll still find the link below in our description just in case you want to take a peek. Same goes for the information about Lime Rock Park. Last month we started checking how the usage of our favorite sims goes. As proposed by Single Racer, how are ya mate? We've added BeamNG to the list for good measure and we're quite surprised by its numbers. We always thought it was more of a niche offering, but that is a big niche. Or are they just happy to see us? In the last 30 days, the average number of daily players of BeamNG reached almost 6,000, a slight up from the numbers in April. A slight up or down was also what the other sims saw, with no especially remarkable movement up or down in any of them. Following the trail of BeamNG, therefore, is Assetto Corsa with almost 4,800 average racers per day, and after that, as was to be expected, is Assetto Corsa Competizione with less than half of those numbers, a little above 2,000 racers. We expect these numbers to drop as much as the prices for hardware once the lockdowns subside, but until then, the activity stays stable. Yeah, well, Rocket League is going Nascar. At least you will be able to buy the Nascar 2021 fan pack in their online shop with cars, decals and player banners until the 12th of May for 2,000 credits. This and other similar NASCAR themed packs will come often to the Rocket League shop, courtesy of a multi-year collaboration. Are you aware we stream weekly the races of the Open Wheel Racing Championship? You can catch them live on this channel or on Twitch every Saturday or see the recording afterwards on YouTube. Apart from that, we also broadcast the special races by Global Enduro. Today, for example, they're Indy 500, also on YouTube and on Twitch. Our commentating team of Cody and Serta are happy to welcome you to the streams, and the races are very juicy. You really don't want to miss them. We had to wait longer than expected for the new Wreckfest tournament as the developers were busy getting the PS5 version to work. but now it's here. Called Super Truck Showdown, it brings the Rattlesnake Race Park track for free and has been released at the same time as a DLC with 3 off-road cars, which as always look like very well-known real-life cars, while being called differently because of licensing. Of course, and as always, a new tournament release brings some bug fixes. Many small things have been corrected in the cars, like window frames floating around and some sound fixes. Happy wrecking! Seems there are enough people interested in racing with WromWrom, so we're starting with just a fun race on Assetto Corsa. You'll find the details in our newest community post. The link to that is in the description in case you don't find it, but it should be easy to find. Anyway, for the first race, we're thinking we could do a short stint or two in Suzuka with the GT500 we tested not too long ago. Let's discuss on the WromWrom Discord and get everything set up, shall we? See you there, petrolheads! You may be excused if you think we're the Automobilista 2 channel or the Automobilista 2 news, but they give us something to talk almost every week, and boy, do we have something to talk about in this week's news. But let's go bit by bit. We already talked about the oddity of the Brabham BT46B. Well, Reza are making a package of this and the almost as iconic Lotus 79 and calling it their Formula Retro Generation 2. They also talk about the customization of driver characters with different suits, helmets, and they want to give each AI driver a different personality, so to speak, by varying their behavior on track and giving them different traits in different mixes and giving some skills predominance over the others. I see Reza are working hard against the Pearl Necklace effect so many AIs in Simracing show. Reza already showed how far they are in their thinking and programming with the AI for Automobilista, which at the end of the development cycle was the most advanced at the time. Once again, they've worked on physics, reducing friction and so giving cars more power. For now, and in their own words, they consider the thick of the work of the physics as concluded, while they are going to continue doing fine-tuning. It's Reza after all. With regards to how they add cars and series, they build up the wonderful image of having Automobilista 2 be like a sticker book, with blanks that get filled in due time, when the licensing deals are there, be it because the licensor agrees at last, or Reza once again put our money to good use by affording yet another license. All the time making it clear they're not one of these sticker book producers who stops production not long after bringing out the book, but that they are in for the long haul. Which makes me even happier that I bought the early access package and with it the Seasons Pass, because they have delivered lots of content and are promising to deliver even more. Moving on, work on the sound landscape of Automobilista 2 continues its path, adding additional sound effects for a fuller experience. Graphics are getting a further pass to make them more fitting to the different seasons, and gamepad support is going to be improved substantially in the near future. They promise the custom championships for end of May, in which you will be able to decide which classes are in, what the calendar is and what rules apply to your championship. The multiplayer rating system, on the other hand, will not appear until Q3 or even Q4 of this year. One biggie we knew was about to come, and that will make the sim very interesting, will be real weather. No, your computer will not get wet in the rain, neither will you have a cloud inside your helmet. What they are going to do is allow you to have the same weather in your race as it's actually on the real live track. And if you're racing in the past, they will use a database of weather conditions for the last 40 years to make the weather more fitting to what was reality at that point in time. From now on, you may have to check the weather forecast to know which setup you should choose. Sounds like a lot of fun and an added dose of realism. Still, you cannot have your test in Barcelona in the snow like it happened with Formula 1 this year, as this is something they have not included in the sim. Yet, if I may say so, because we all know Reza loves these kind of things. But if you thought real weather was the big news, nope. Here it comes! Reza has announced their new pack of DLCs called Racing USA Expansion Pack. This is exactly what it sounds like. during the next 7 months, Razer is going to publish cars and tracks from US American motorsport in 3 DLCs. The content of the first DLC they vaguely describe as centered around the US thriving sports car scene, while being a bit more precise about the second DLC, which will bring single-seaters, and the third bringing oval racing to Automobilista 2. Move over iRacing, these guys mean business. The first DLC is expected to bring the Porsche 911, RSR, BMW M8 and Corvette C8R, along with the Cadillac DPI-R prototype as cars into Automobilista 2, while Laguna Seca, Long Beach and Daytona International Speedway will add to the tracks of Automobilista 2 for a nice, round, fat DLC. This DLC is expected to be released end of May for €19 or 13 USD, with Razer expecting to price parts 2 and 3 similarly. Man, that early backers €100 look more and more like a bargain the more Razer publishes. But that's what we expected, that's why I happily gave them my money up front. Even if they still don't have stadium super trucks in the sim. And expect more Automobilista 2 content on our channel now that I finally got the sim to recognize my wheel and my pedals at the same time so I can drive it again. Automobilista 2, the gift that keeps on giving. As is our channel, we can prove that if you check the playlist to the left or the video to the right. Until next time, save fuel, collect pickup, and we'll see each other on the podium.